There, now you're good. Okay. And that. Boom. Your channel. I'm live. Boom. 1080p 60. Is YouTube throwing a hissy fit? No. It's only giving me 720p 60 though. And then Facebook. Click on my channel here. Boom. 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 And what's our source? And then let's switch to our BRB screen. And then actually not mute the mic from there because the mic's not plugged in there. So The only confusing thing is using two PCs and how much shit you actually have to fucking, like, you gotta do one thing on this computer, one thing over on this computer. I've actually got the laptop set up dual screening right now where I'm using my TV as the second monitor. And I've got everything pulled up on that monitor, like all this OBS and everything on there. But this was actually easy to set up. Like, all I did was just set up OBS NDI and it did all the work for me. No, my capture card's internal, but I'm not using it. Oh no, I gave that to my nephew. No, I'm playing on the desktop, capturing it to my laptop. OBS NDI.
Subdue all threats. Another classic showdown. I can't wait.
You don't need a desktop. You don't need a capture card. OBS NDI does all that for you. Like, if you look, I'm playing a game right now on my computer. Yeah, well, I might not be using Facebook much longer now that I know that what I'm basically trying to figure out is what's going to give me the best quality. That's where I'm streaming to all of them because I can push max settings to them. And the only one that seems to be able to keep up with the quality I want to produce is, well, right now I need to be able to kill people, but is YouTube. Yeah, I am paying the extra money. Yeah, it's just, I don't really want to invest the time. It's one of those things, if I'm not going to be streaming every single day, I could now that I have the laptop, but it's just something when I'm home and I want to mess around, I can. I seen you. Oh, you did. But like YouTube, I've got the 60 FPS going to it right now, and it's just, I've got it pulled up on my second monitor and it looks crystal clear.
Enemy's got a glide bomb incoming. Recon aloft. We got eyes.
Oh, I have the zero stream delay set up on Twitch. Because I do get that, but I haven't seen anybody from. They do. I don't really.
Light glide bomber on the way. Recon airborne. Eyes up.
Well, that's because I haven't set up how to do webcams and all that. Because I noticed on my PC, regardless of what I did, my webcam was always lagging. So it's like,
We took the advantage.
no, like the camera and everything was lagging too. No, just video. It's the 922, Logitech 922. That's and that's something that I was looking into today, and then I'm like,
We're in the lead.
well, I gave myself a $2,000 budget today to buy something, and yeah, I went ahead and just bought the webcam, yeah, the laptop, because I could have spent $2,000 setting up a nice little DXLR camera system and all of that.
Friendly
The
glide
Cam Link, which is what I was looking at the Cam Link as a option. That's what I was gonna do was get a
recon mission ready. Find the bastard. Friendly package inbound.
yeah.
Recon sweeping the sector.
Yeah, that's actually what I was looking at was the Cam Link Ultra because I was just gonna order everything online and then have it all come here. And then the laptop that I actually wound up getting is the
Friendly guard dog on its
$2,500 Alienware, which comes with the 3070 and everything in it. So I'm like, I can't pass that deal up. Like, well, that's with me being trying to play on the road and everything too. That's where,
spy in the sky.
yeah, yeah, and that's kind of what I was
Heads up. Enemy glide bomb.
when I was looking at this laptop. It's like everything is perfect for what I want to do.
Friendly
So
sending a glide bomb.
mhm. Yeah, it's something. And like I didn't want to do all that. It was just kind of a let me just get something that's all in one. It's gonna do what I need it to do, and I don't have to mess with it. And that's where this came into effect. And Best Buy had it.
Keep the
Micro
momentum.
Center still had this for 2,500, and then I went to Best Buy and it was on sale, and I'm like, well, fuck, mine.
Enemy glide bomb incoming. Recon mission ready. Find the
But like I'm not noticing really any type of lag or anything like that. It's like everything is perfect.
sky.
Cause like yeah, I was looking at a um NZXT pre-built that had the 2060 Super in it, and I'm like, no,
Knew you had
I didn't like the 2060 Super when I had it. And then I was like, well, a desktop would actually be better for, I mean, a laptop would be better for everything else I want to do with it. So it's like, The only thing is I ordered the Alienware mouse to go with it, and that doesn't come in the mail until Tuesday. So it's like my when I go out on Monday, I won't have the standard. I won't have the mouse to play, but I can survive a day. I have survived this long until I get my setup in. But I'm not noticing really anything, and it looks like I'm. Yeah, I just gotta move the USB from. Technically, I could set up the cam right now. Like the way that NDI works. Boom, here you go. You have a webcam now. But that's not what I'm trying to do. So it's like, okay. But yeah, well, that's just the color scheme I have going in my room right now. Well, when you like I have the hue lights, and when I'm playing, and I'm not streaming or anything, or I'm not using my webcam, I use a purple theme.
Shit's gonna get ugly. There's no
So that way it's not too bright, but it's not also just washing everything out. And I still have the background lights. So that's what you saw there was me just using that theme. Like if I switched my theme over to a white theme, then you would actually have seen the. I quit shooting at him, but you would have actually seen that everything was dialed in because I'd already set all that up and everything this morning. Yeah, I've been fighting that for a while, and that's.
enemy care package inbound.
Yeah, I'm not using a green screen, but I'm also not using NVIDIA Broadcast. So there's. It's a little bit off, and I need to go in there and adjust it, and that's something that I was actually looking into
Enemy glide bomb on the way.
because, well, that's I'd have to move my entire setup around, and that's ultimately once I got this set up, then it's okay. Now I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna put my streaming setup at and how I'm actually gonna do all this because once I can get the green screen behind me, I can fix that problem. But currently,
Enemy care package inbound.
yeah, it's not like for the quality that I needed to fix the stream quality first and get it up to where I wanted it at, which is basically right here. Like if I can push 1080p 60 without an issue and run
Bleeding embarrassment, this is.
like that's kind of where I can push 1440p to YouTube, but I can't push 1440p 60 to anything else. And when it's like, why would I run under 60 FPS if I have the ability to run 60 FPS? So it's like, okay, well, if it's not going to let me push that quality, then I don't need to be streaming there.
Spies in the sky.
Yeah, because like I've been streaming for 21 minutes talking to you about this. No drop frames. I'm only using 2.7% of the CPU. And that's on the laptop though. Yeah, I have the R950, 950, and the. Well, you have an R9 sitting there. Because I'm just trying to pass it off of me. What was this? 5 kills without dying. Okay. I'm also trying to complete challenges here in this game too. You don't have the monitors. Would your monitors actually support that though? Like that's a 2K graphics card. So you can push 1440p to it? Yeah, so I've got three. I've, I'm running three 1440p monitors. Oh, the 26, the oh yeah, that thing's a bit bigger than what you would need.
Team deathmatch. Subdue all threats. This'll separate the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah, so like and the other thing I'm looking at is when I was pricing everything out, it was only $800 more to buy this laptop. So it's like, why wouldn't I just spend the $800?
We took the advantage.
My nephew's using it for school, and it's only got a 1070 in it, so it's outdated. Yeah.
Lead is lost. Fight back.
That's kind of where I'm like, yeah, it's something to scoff at because I'm used to running 30 series graphics cards. Granted, the 3070 to the 3090 is like, yeah. So it's like, for me, the downgrade is just way too astronomical. Coming from this desktop to anything below a 30 series graphics card is just insane. So, like, that's where my complaint falls in is I've fucking die when I shoot you. But it's just astronomical when you're looking at, okay, well, I can push a, wow, I can I can push anything I want on my desktop. Granted, this thing is way too OP, needs to be fucking. Well, it's like, okay, I don't really like streaming to Twitch. I don't. So, okay, well, that's not a problem. And it's like, okay, well, I can go to YouTube, I can push max quality settings to YouTube. Shit, I can turn this off right now, push 1440p 60 straight to YouTube, and That's right where I want my quality settings at. Granted, my next upgrade path from here is going to be XLR and DSLR cameras. So it's like, yeah. Because right now I have noticed that, well, I can push on this one, even like I can push 4K to it. I can push 1440p to it and have everything at 1440p, but it's not a consistent 1440p. And that's kind of where I'm like, okay, there's a problem there. I need to figure this out. And I was looking into the DSLR cameras, and then I'm like, okay, well, I also need to call Caesar and have him text me the links to his XLR setup.
What a ludicrous display, people! Allies sending goods your way.
See, I was looking at the road, and then I was debating on a mic, because there's like, they make the XLR version of the mic that I'm using now, which sounds fine. I don't really have a reason to not be using this mic. Like, I don't have a reason to upgrade to XLR because this mic sounds perfectly fine. It's the best quality USB that you can get. hmm you can, but you have to buy a USB, I mean a HDMI interface. Hmm. Well, that's the only time I've tried this with the PlayStation 5, so. hmm Damn it, this shit. The one I'm using is Astro. The one I'm using, it did come with the Astros. Because even to split to use your voice with the Astros, you had to have that for the PlayStation.
Team deathmatch.
Wireless.
Eradicate all threats. Another classic showdown. I can't wait. We have the lead. Keep it up.
Yeah, because you can kind of see what my plan is here, which is overpower the streaming setup because
They're driving us back.
yeah, because I was gonna like if I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna invest the money, I think Go XLR is gonna be your best bet. It's just how much bigger of a desk am I gonna need? And
Hostile
and that's
recon in the air.
I don't care about desk space. It's because I'm gonna buy a whole new desk. Like I've got an L shape right now, but I don't like the glass. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna buy a whole new desk, and I would. So it's like, and then I'm gonna move this desk so that way it's facing a little bit differently. So that way I have room for my well, I'm gonna move my bed and then I'm gonna move my desk so that way I have more room for the streaming setup because currently I don't have room for all of that.
Recon alert.
Yeah, so it's like I've got I've got an upgrade path that I don't like because it's like I'm getting out of my realm of knowledge at this point. So it's like, okay, I gotta upgrade to DSLR cameras, and then I gotta upgrade to XLR mics. I don't know that shit. Like I was looking at a mirrorless camera today that I was literally, it was in my cart and I pulled it out because I saw this laptop. And I figured that part out already. That part's easy.
Allies sending goods your way. Friendly sending a glide bomb.
Oh, that thing is sexy.
Enemy care package inbound. Recon to the sector.
Yeah, and that's things that I've actually figured out a different way because of the way that I have all of my stuff rigged out. I can act,
Hostile recon in the air.
because
Spies in the
the other thing that I'm looking at is the I went and looked at a house the other day that actually has a perfect office. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I want this house." problem is, it's about $10,000 outside of my price range. They're asking 260 for it. My price range is 250. That's cash. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to finance anything. That's the problem. I don't want to. The problem is I don't want to spend. I don't want to finance anything. Like when I buy it, I want to own it, and I'm done. Take about a month. Would take me a month to come up with that money, but and yeah, I've already bought a house, and so there's like I'm limited. Plus, with being self-employed, getting a loan is almost impossible right now. So if I step in and do anything, it has to be cash. Like I was lucky with getting a loan for the F-150, but that's in the business name, and I needed to start growing the business credit. So it's like, I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place of how I want to do it. Oh, I'm saying I have all that shit on auto delete, so I don't even see him anymore. I had a bunch of people trying to add me.
Take out all enemies. Show 'em what's what.
Like, I went through that a while ago with just making everything to where I don't have to deal with the bullshit anymore. Because it was every time you turn around, it's a different thing on Facebook. And it's like I only get on there really to watch Facebook gaming. So it's like I don't have a reason. Family and all that type of shit. If they need to get a hold of me, call me. Because I'm not going to deal with the damn arguments. So, and that's all it was becoming anymore was everybody arguing about this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, shut the fuck up. So I quit dealing with Facebook in general because of that. Oh, you didn't know that was me just being bored? You didn't know that was me just creating accounts being bored? Yeah, sure, I had nothing better to do with my life that day. I was sitting in a dock for 12 hours. Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing.
Hostile recon in the air. Spies in the sky.
She'll get over it.
And that's a kill confirmed for you.
Hey, there you go. I want to be a porn star from Europe.
Hostile recon in the air. Spies in the sky.
Float. Hmm.
Hostile recon in the air. Spies in the sky. Sending mortar shells. Enemy war machine in sight.
Yeah, that's where I run into it. I'm sitting there dealing with it right now because I thought my divorce was almost finalized with Beth. No. No, because she keeps fucking trying to go after the fucking business, even though when I created the business, she signed paperwork stating that she was not able to come after the business for any profits or revenues from the business. So it's like she keeps trying to come after it, and then all of a sudden my lawyer's just sitting there like, yeah, you know that's not going to happen, right? Do you want to take us to court? Because I won't even charge him. He actually, I paid to put his ass on a plane. Like, here's how bad it's getting with her. He got on a plane, flew out there, got her to sign the fucking paperwork. Within 48 hours of her signing the paperwork, she contacted the state of Kentucky stating that she only signed it because she was under duress. And I'm like, so now we're sitting in a whole fucking meeting over this bullshit. It's like, you weren't under duress. You literally got your bullshit called out on you. So, oh,
Hostile recon in the air.
that's where you run into the problems.
And that's a kill confirmed for you. Enemy shells coming hot.
Well, it wasn't a problem up until the point where she's just, uh, no. That's where she runs into the problem, is I was always gone and she's one of those submissive types that always has to have her partner there to control her. I'm like, no, we're not playing this game. You need to be self-sufficient. You need to be able to control yourself. And that's where everything happened.
And that's a kill confirmed for you.
So it's like, I know exactly where everything went wrong. And yes, it's my fault because I should have just predicted what was going to happen and say fuck it and not deal with it. But at the same time, it's like, maybe I'll get lucky for once in my life. Nope. She was 25, so there was an age difference there. But it's like, I knew her. Yeah, I learned my lesson from the age differences here. Like, there was a girl I literally just told off the other day, but she was 33,
Hostile dogs in the zone.
and it wasn't bad. The reason why I told her off was because she was more worried about going out and partying than she was doing anything else. It's like, you're 33 years old. I can see why you're single. She doesn't have kids, but she does have bullshit. Like, so it's like, you're not gonna. What she's doing is blatant to someone who was married at one point, was controlled, and then was just running away from everything. How did I even die right there? Oh. So it's like, you know what? We don't need to be having this conversation anymore. We don't need to be trying to do anything. I'm not going to go out partying with you. I work too damn much for that shit. It's like I'm off every weekend now because I'm running car parts, and automotive doesn't run on weekends, which is amazing. I love it because I get every holiday off, and I don't have to worry about anything. I'm off when I need to be off, and I'm working when I want to work.
Get back in the fight.
But
Recon alert. We got eyes. Hostile
Up to. Well, I'm going up to Illinois. Like, yeah. It's a six. It's a 6-hour drive to get to where I go. So it's like, it's not bad. And I pick up at a perfect time to where I'm not dealing with bullshit and traffic. So I just run. Like the way that this load works is I pick up at like, there's a few different times that I can pick up, but for these I actually pick them up at like 7 p.m. And then I run out, shut down, split my sleeper, take a 8-hour nap, then shut down for 2 hours. It all works out and runs.